Okay. Come to this page number, this one, page number 54. Come to page number 54. Okay. Judiciary. A glance at the newspaper provides you a glimpse of the range of work done by the courts in this country. So if you turn over the pages of newspaper, you will come to know about the range of work done by our country courts or the courts of our country. But can you think of why we need these courts? As you have read in Unit 2 in India, we have the rule of law. So here we know that no king, no queen rules us, but it is actually the constitution which rules us. And the constitution, it is nothing other than a set of written principles or guidelines or rules which we must follow. Okay. As you have read in Unit 2 in India, we have the rule of law. What this means is that laws apply equally to all persons and that a certain set of fixed procedures need to be followed when a law is violated. If a law is violated, at that time some steps must be taken so that it is not repeated, that action of violation of that law is not repeated, or the person who has violated the law must get some sort of punishment. To enforce this rule of law, we have a judicial system that consists of the mechanism of courts that a citizen can approach when a law is violated. If a law is violated, at the time you can move to the court and you can seek for the judgment. As an organ of the state, the judiciary plays a crucial role in the functioning of India's democracy. It can play this role only because it is independent. What does an independent judiciary mean? Is there any connection between the court in your area and the Supreme Court in New Delhi? So if this question comes in your mind that whether any connection is there between the court in my area and the Supreme Court in New Delhi, then we are going to get the answer in this chapter only. So in this chapter, you will find the answers to these questions. What is the role of the judiciary? Take a pencil in your hand. There are certain lines which you have to underline. Courts take decisions on a very large number of issues. They can decide that no teacher can beat a student, but forget about this one. No, definitely I can beat you. If you do something wrong in front of me, then you know that, or no sir, he is going to beat us. He is going to punish us. Or about the sharing of river waters between states, or they can punish people for particular crimes. Broadly speaking, the work that the judiciary does can be divided into following. What are the following? Dispute resolution. The judicial system provides a mechanism for resolving disputes between two citizens. If two citizens, they are having some sort of dispute between them, that dispute can be resolved by this interference of this judicial system. Between citizens and the government, that means if any dispute is there between citizens and the government, or if any dispute is there between two state governments and between the center and the state governments, at that time what can happen? The judicial system, it can provide a mechanism for resolving the disputes. It can show us the ways or the procedures following which we can stop these disputes which are running. Judicial review. As the final interpreter, underline, who is the final interpreter of the Constitution? As the final interpreter of the Constitution, the judiciary also has the power to strike down particular laws passed by the Parliament if it believes that these are a violation of the basic structure of the Constitution. This is called judicial review. So what is judicial review? If the judiciary system of our country, it finds that a particular law which has been passed by the parliament is actually violating the rules of the constitution, or it is violating the fundamental rights of the citizens, at that time it is having the power to strike down those laws. So let's read once more this para. As the final interpreter of the constitution, the judiciary also has the power to strike down particular laws passed by the parliament if it believes that these are a violation of the basic structure of the constitution. What constitution has said, these laws, they are violating those sayings or those writings or those guidelines or those set of principles. At that time, the law can be just stopped, or it is better to say, actually it is better to say that the judiciary system has the power to strike down that law, even if it has been passed in both the houses of the parliament. So this is the meaning of judicial review. You underline up to constitution, starting from as up to constitution. Now the next one is upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Every citizen of India can approach the Supreme Court or the High Court if they believe that their fundamental rights have been violated. If you find that your fundamental right has been violated, you can definitely move to the Supreme Court. You are having this much of authority or power. First you have to move to the High Court, then you can move to the Supreme Court. For example, in the class 7 book, you read about Hakim Sheikh, an agricultural laborer who fell from a running train and injured himself, and whose condition got worse because several hospitals refused to admit him. On hearing this case, the Supreme Court ruled that Article 21, which provides every citizen the fundamental right to life, also includes the right to health. That means it is there within this fundamental rights, that is fundamental right to life, and there it is included the right to health. If it is violated, you can move to the Supreme Court or to the High Court. It therefore directed the West Bengal government to pay him compensation for the loss suffered, as well as to come up with the blueprint for primary health care with particular reference to the treatment of patients during an emergency. Paschim Banga Khet Mazdoor Samiti versus State of West Bengal. Now compensation meaning it is very easy, but still then let us come to this glossary part of this chapter, and let's read according to this context what meaning has been given. So compensation in the context of this chapter, this refers to money given to make amends or an injury or a loss. Money given to make amends for an injury, for an injury or a loss. So this is about this one, and the meaning of blueprint you can write down. Meaning of blueprint, better you write it down. Blueprint means it is actually a plan that describes, how to achieve or get something in the future. Blueprint means a plan that describes how to do or achieve something in the future. How to do or achieve something in the future. This is the meaning of blueprint. This is actually a plan where it is clearly written, or which describes properly about the correct procedures following which you can get something or achieve something in your future. Once more I am repeating the meaning of blueprint, a plan that describes how to do or achieve something in the future. Now come to the next part. What is an independent judiciary? Very important this part is. Imagine a situation in which a powerful politician has encroached. The meaning of encroached I have written on the board, but it's not thoroughly, or it is actually not properly visible. That's why I'm reading the meaning once to you. The meaning of encroach is to take control or possession of something to take control or possession of something in a gradual way and often without being noticed. To take control or possession of something in a gradual way and often without being noticed. Okay? Roshni, I will come to your question, but just let me complete this explanation up to certain part of this chapter. After that, I will definitely answer your query. Just wait, beta. Okay, so imagine a situation in which a powerful politician has encroached on land belonging to your family. Within this judicial system, the politician has the power to appoint and dismiss a judge from his office. When you take this case to court, the judge is clearly partial to the politician. It can happen, no, that the politician is having enough power, and as a result of that, he can just dismiss a judge or appoint another judge who will take the decisions or who will say in favor of that particular politician, instead of keeping the judgment impartial. Instead of keeping the judgment impartial, the judge will definitely take the side of the politician, because the politician, he is having enough power. Just he can dismiss the judge or appoint another judge. So this sort of things will happen. And in many of films, you have seen that actually these things can happen, or it is shown there that these things are happening. Forget about it. It's different matter. But in many of films we have seen this one. The control that the politician holds over the judge does not allow for the judge to take an independent decision. This lack of independence would force the judge to make all judgments in favor of the politician, because his job is in the hands of that politician. He can just dismiss him, or he can also threaten him to kill. So, although we often hear of rich and powerful people in India trying to influence the judicial process, the Indian Constitution protects against this kind of situation by providing for the independence of the judiciary. But the Constitution of our country, it is just providing us the safety that this sort of things will not happen. For that reason only, this judiciary, it is kept independent. And we have read that the legislature and the executive, they cannot interfere in the matters of this judicial system of the country. For this reason only, Constitution has kept the judiciary independent. One aspect of this independence is the separation of powers. This, as you read in chapter 1, is a key feature of the Constitution. What this means here is that what this means here is that other branches of the state, like the legislature and the executive, cannot interfere in the work of the judiciary. The courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. So the courts, they are not under the governments, and they are not bound to act according to the wishes of the present government. It might be the state government, it can be the central government. And that's why the Constitution has said about the separation of powers, and it has kept the judiciary system independent, where the legislature and the executive cannot interfere or cannot just force the courts to take the decisions which might be in the favor of the rich people, or which are in the favor for these higher authorities or these politicians. So the courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. For the above separation to work well, it is also crucial that all judges in the High Court, underline this part, for the above separation to work well, it is also crucial that all judges in the High Court as well as the Supreme Court are appointed with very little interference from these other branches of the government. So these other branches, that means the legislature and the executive, they are having very small role or might be the negligible role in this appointment of the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. So once more, let's read this para, that for the above separation to work well, it is also crucial that all judges in the High Court as well as the Supreme Court are appointed with very little interference from these other branches of government. Very little means almost no interference is there. Almost no interference is there. Once appointed to this office, it is also very difficult to remove a judge. So it is not in the hands of the politician that when I want, I can appoint a judge, and when I want, I can remove that judge from his office or dismiss that judge. It is not in the hands or in the grip of the politicians. It is the independence of the judiciary that allows the courts to play a central role in ensuring that there is no misuse of power by the legislature and the executive. So this independence of this judiciary system, it allows the court to play a central role in ensuring that there is no misuse of power by the legislature and the executive, because they are, that means the legislature of the or the executive, if they are doing any sort of wrong deeds, they also have to answer to the courts. They are also answerable to the courts of the country. It also plays a crucial role in protecting the fundamental rights of the citizens, because anyone can approach the courts if they believe that their rights have been violated. So, underline this part also. It also plays a crucial role in protecting the fundamental rights of the citizens. That means our fundamental rights, these rights are also protected by these courts. If we find that these fundamental rights are violated, we can move to the high courts, we can move to the Supreme Court of the country. So it also plays a crucial role in protecting the fundamental rights of citizens, because anyone can approach the courts if they believe that their rights have been violated. So up to this only for today, and in our next class we will proceed with the next part of the chapter. And before my class ends, let me see what queries are there.